Breakout rooms can be used with your own adult meetings or student classes so that you can divide the group. Maybe it's just even one person you want to pull off to the side and chat with them, or they need to show you their screen real quickly while the rest of the group is still having a conversation or conducting a class. So many ideas and uses for breakout rooms, and as they come to you, please feel free to add them in our chat. But you're not going to be able to use a breakout room unless you've gone into your own Zoom account and you have turned it on. So that's what I have up on my screen. I am showing you my Zoom account. So it's where I went to zoom.us, I signed in, and on the left of a Zoom account, we see the word settings. Settings has meeting, and I'm going to scroll all the way down until I come down to in meeting advanced. So it's pretty far down. We have a lot of choices in here. So this is in meeting advanced. So I'll try to make that big as I can for you guys. That way it displays, because I know the screen share can be a little fuzzy. So in meeting advanced, here is a setting called breakout room. So simply the button doesn't show if you don't have it turned on. So you're going to have to make sure it's on first. You can click that to toggle, and anytime you have overridden a default setting in Zoom, it will be signified on the right that you have modified it, and then you could always reset it back by turning it off. You could even have this set up to allow the host, that would be you, because it's your class, it's your meeting, you can have it where you pre-assign the participants breakout rooms when you're scheduling this. But I don't believe that's something you think about in the classroom. You're possibly going to have dynamic groups, or they're going to be impromptu where you just quickly split up the students. Sometimes you're going to pair them up. You have a strong reader, maybe with a weak reader. So it could be where you know the groups, or in many cases, it's going to be something you decide to do on the fly. So I'm going to change my screen view here, and let me, because I want to actually share my Zoom screen with you guys. So I'm going to screen share my screen, and I have my participants panel open. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close the chat. So hopefully that doesn't confuse you guys, displaying a double chat. So here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get into this full screen here, because this is what I'd like to do for our recording. On my screen share, I can go down here to this button called Breakout Rooms. So it's in my toolbar, and you can see we have 24 participants here. Now, it'll just break you up into 6 rooms, and it's designating 4 per room, but I have control over that. So if I just wanted to pair you guys up real quickly, this is going to be really random. I can do that. I can create 2 participants per room. It's just going to grab your names automatically, and I can hit create. So then I could take a moment and quickly look at these, but think of this, guys. You're sitting idle, right? How well are our students going to sit idle while we switch and move students around? So when you break it down to where you're just pairing up students, you're going to want to go really quick as you can at least. So I'm going to send you off real quick here. This is our crash course, and you're going to be a participant in a room, and maybe you see your name on screen and you don't know the person you're being paired with. So that's what we're going to do. Our quick beginning of this is just introduce who you are and what you teach, and then we're all going to come back real quick, and you're going to get a signal that I want you guys to come back. So I'm going to click open all rooms, and what your task is with your partner, introduce yourself and your job. So for recording purposes, I've given a few moments for everyone to at least say hello and what they do. And now I'm going to broadcast a message out. My countdown timer was set to 30 seconds. And something else to consider, when people return, they were probably unmuted. And so that's where the host would want to grab participants and quickly take advantage of the mute all button, because when they come back in, they're unmuted.
Rebecca, how did you notify us to come back?
So there is a tool in here called messaging, and that's an option I can do. And what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to open the rooms again, just so I can show you guys the tools. And when you see the pop-up come up on screen, don't join. I just want you to sit, and you could even, the other option is to do it later. So if you want to hit later, don't join the room, and that way you can still see this screen share. And then I'll show you that message. And I have my one laptop here, so I'll have my one laptop go into the room. So here I am. I'm going to open the rooms, and I don't want anybody to join it this time. I want you to just click later. As a teacher, I can see who has not joined. And so it's in a lighter gray. No one has joined, even though the rooms are open. So you guys are still able to see. So I see we have Mary on the phone here. And I want to talk to her if we can, because we're going to see if it's more difficult when you're just on a phone. Because she is bold. That means she is in the room and she can't hear us right now. So I'm going to have to I can move her. And boy, that just means she's just going to move to another room. I can go in, and what I'm going to do is actually send that message to Mary, but see, darn, she's not going to get the typed messages because she's on a phone only. So definitely, folks, if you're going to have students who join with phone, breakout rooms is not going to be good for them. And so Alicia, I was trying to get to what your question was. How do you send the message out? And now that the rooms are open, I click broadcast a message to all. And so you'll all still see this. It's at the top of your screen now, should come up in blue or some type of pop-up bubble. And so you still see it even though you're not in a breakout room. And those who are in the breakout room see it as well. So I'm gonna pop in real quick to breakout room number 9 where we have Mary. And I'm gonna join it for a moment. The rest of you just hang tight and I'll be right back. Mary, are you able to hear me okay? You're muted. So I don't know if you know the buttons to unmute yourself. Doing this on a phone might be extra tricky.
Entered me. And
Okay, I've unmuted you.
yes, I can hear you now. I couldn't before. I think it automatically like put me in the group
Yes, it
or the
did.
breakout room.
And could you hear the other person?
No, I could. Well, the first time I could hear her, but I couldn't talk. I don't think she could hear me. But I
Okay.
didn't hear you this last time.
Okay, and this is going to be really hard for being on a phone today. So this might be
Right.
something where you come back and watch the recording. But
Yeah, that was my plan.
I'm going to head back to, we're both going to go back to the rest of the group, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to leave that room where I was working with one person and I am back. So that was a little weird, right? You guys are all sitting there being good students. What would the rest of your class do while you left, right? They would probably take advantage of the opportunity to possibly start chatting among each other or just even opening up their mics. And so this is something you're going to definitely use with a grain of salt. Decide who this is appropriate for. Or maybe you have a co-teacher, like we have Elise in the group, or maybe she's the aide who can help out the main teacher. And so that's something we definitely need to work on and just think about and see how this tool is going to work for you guys. So next, let me get back to those settings for the breakout rooms. So they were established automatically. And I want to hear from you guys if you were or were not able to talk to your, the person you were paired with. And if you want to open up your participants panel and give me a yes, and it's okay if you put it in chat. Lisa already answered in chat. So if you are responding to that prompt, which is, were you able to talk to your person you were paired with? And what we found is with Mary, she was on the phone. I had you all muted before sending you guys into the breakout rooms. And she was not able to unmute herself. So her partner, and I apologize for the person who was paired with her as well as the person who was paired with my laptop. So Diana, you didn't get to talk to Mary, but whoever gets the phone number, that's how we know it's Mary today. And whoever gets the one labeled laptop, that's me. So I just chatted to Kendra. I knew she wasn't able to talk because I don't have that device joined. So I'll try to pull that one out of the breakout room so nobody gets stuck again like that. So Kelly, you were paired with, let's see who you had. You had Crystal. And so we'll find out. You want to unmute your mic, Kelly? And
I don't know. I tried Crystal, and then I also had Jackie the second time, and I couldn't. I don't know. I just couldn't hear anything or talk to them.
okay. And that's why we do this for practice. And Vicky, of course, shoot, I forgot, no microphone for her. And so if you are paired with Vicky. And Diana's asking in our chat, is there a way prior to the meeting to set up the breakout rooms and groups in order to save time? Or can it only be broken into breakout rooms during? So that was what I showed you in my settings in the beginning. So you can allow the host to assign participants when scheduling. I'm going to look more into that though, because if you have set teams or pairs of students that you know you're going to pair up, that will save time, definitely. So Diana, let me get more information. I'll follow up after class. So Megan says she had Jackie in her breakout room. You didn't see or hear her. So Jackie, do you have a microphone? Do you have a video camera? You might be video muted. Let's see where she went. She's try to get Jackie to unmute herself so we could hear her. We have Elise coming back to our group. Now, I'm not going to pair you guys again just in one-on-one. We're going to go into some larger groups here, and I'll show you how that can be done. I'm going to close all these rooms, even though nobody's in them necessarily, but I reopened those so I could show you guys how you send a message. So I'll close all those rooms so they won't be an option to you guys any longer. And watch this, I have a countdown timer. So all that means is I have to wait that amount of time. Most of you, you just went ahead and returned. So when there's a countdown timer, the person in the breakout room has the option. They're allowed to decide, oh, do I want to return right now, or do I want to go ahead and wait for the countdown? So now that time has ended, and what we see now is that list of rooms. You can name your rooms, so that's an option. And I have noticed when I'm in a session, if I name these during that session, I'm able to reuse those names again or use these breakout rooms again. But it's for this current session. And then if I am coming down the list, you see I can delete a room. So if I just want one of these to go completely away, for example, my laptop, I'm going to move Kendra to another group, maybe to group 1, and then I can delete that group altogether. And what happens, the person who is listed here is laptop, they're going to be unassigned. So now we have Kendra in a group with 2 others, and the laptop won't be included here. So if I go ahead and look at the other tools they give us, we could exchange people. So if I was trying to pair Julie up with another math teacher, then I can exchange and move her and decide who am I going to trade her out with if I want these 2 math teachers to talk together. Because Julie's at algebra level at the high school and Alicia is a kindergarten teacher. So that maybe would be a bad pair, depending on my goal. So you have choices and we have options. So all of you had the ability to join later, or you had the ability to hit join. That prompt came up. So you could have students who don't click it, right? Or turn this on, and this way, that's going to make them go into the breakout rooms automatically. So in my opinion, if I'm working with K-12 students, I'm going to click that, so it just puts them in their room automatically. The other option here is allowing them to return to the main session at any time. So that'd be nice. It'd be a good signal to you when your groups are done discussing. And think about it, just like you're in the classroom. If they are working in groups, you can't hear what they're saying in their group. You're clear across the room. And as you move around the room, just like you would in a physical classroom, you can join and move in and out of different breakout rooms. So if you want to allow them to have the freedom to come back when their group is done, that's a nice tool and it's an option you can have here checked. If you say you're going to have 5 minutes, then good. It's set for 5 minutes and it's going to close automatically. And you get a nice little notice that the time is up. I'm bad about running on, talking too long. And then I say 1 more minute and 5 minutes is actually passed. So this will help keep you on task with your time. And then this was the countdown even though I clicked close all rooms, it was still another 30 seconds until that actually took effect. Many of you took the option to just come back because you had the ability to, because this box was checked. So I could even change my countdown a little shorter, because 30 seconds is a lot of class time, in my opinion. So these are your options that you have controls over to set. So make sure you pick the ones you want. And I could go ahead and recreate new rooms. So I'm not going to do automatic this time. I'm going to do this manually. And we have some groups. Let me try to get to my screen that I have my spreadsheet open. That's going to be fun because I have my, there we go. That's my spreadsheet. So here's what I did ahead of time with you all. And I had, when I made this up last week, I had people join in later. So we're going to do this by building first, and I have color coded you. So this is the idea. Maybe you're going to look at your own class list, go into Progress Book, print out a class roster, and then have that where you can decide who are your teams going to be. And I just went ahead and colored by building. So I need to move this off to the side for myself. And then I need to come back to our meeting so I can have those settings. And what I want to do is do the breakout rooms again. All right, so new rooms. And it looks like I had blue, white, pink, yellow. I think that's it. I'm going to do 4. And so I only need 4 rooms this time. I'm doing this manually, so it's roughly telling me how many. But because we have a large group for high school, I'm going to have to go ahead and start putting you in. So we'll start with the high school here, and I can start assigning. Oh, let me get Kelly in here. So when you make the rooms manually, you will be able to assign the people you want in. And so I'm going down my list. We have Beth Smith from high school, Crystal, Deb. And again, think about how much time this is taking me to do it. Even though I had a piece of paper or a document that was ready, I still have to go down this list. And you have to ask yourself, how patient are my students? And we'll get Lisa in here. And Shelley Hewitt, I'm going to throw you into our high school group if that's okay. So that's where those folks are going to go. And then I have another room. I have number 2. So I go down the list to assign them. So that's why I did the random one first, because that went the fastest. So this is going to be my primary group this time. So we have Alicia and Brooke. We have Megan, Neil, Nicole, and Dawn. Yep, there she is. So you're probably wondering, why is she moving us into buildings? What are we going to do? And I'm going to have a new task for you all. So let me get the intermediate folks in here. We have Bonnie. And if anyone has new questions, I see Jennifer has asked in our chat, can you save who goes in which breakout room? For this meeting, it will. So if I end the room and reopen the room and end, it'll keep you guys, but it's not going to keep it from meeting to meeting. Now, I'm also going to look more into what Diana asked so that we can have these groups predetermined ahead of time. So Kelly, and here's what's nice. Look how much shorter my list is getting. So it's getting easier for me to put you into groups. And so that's my group 3, only 3 of you. And then I could technically leave the last group of people just unassigned, and that way you guys would stay into the main room. But here's what I'll do. I'll still grab you. And Mary, I should have put you in the junior high group, so I'm gonna get you in there. So let's get her. And I want to assign. So I click on the number, and now I add one more. So again, we're gonna go into these groups for just a little bit of time. Let's do 5 minutes, which won't be very much time, it'll fly. And your task this time, answer this question. And I really want you to just go with your gut so people can take turns. Those of you without microphones, just use your chat to talk to the group. And here's what want you guys to discuss. What will be your biggest hurdle when returning to school this fall? So say it or type it in the chat, 1 or 2 things that just come to mind. So here we go, folks. So here I'm in the main meeting and people are just disappearing off the list. So Jackie Arnold, we did not, oh, there she went. So now I'm in the main meeting and there's no one here except for me. So I am able to move in and out of different breakout rooms. So now I can click on join and I'm going into the high school.
Computer program called Canvas.
I think my biggest concern at Ashland High School is just the workload that we're going to be facing here in the fall. It's going to be incredible.
And I'll piggyback on that with Ashland High School, because I also saw we might be looking at a whole different schedule once again, right?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Like a block schedule.
Scheduling.
I taught
So we're
in
going
a,
to have to figure out a lot.
I
with
taught
that.
in a block schedule before I came here, if you didn't know that.
No, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we'll chat later.
Hey, Deb Gallagher. This is Deb Gallagher with that Clear Fork.
Yes, ma'am. Hi,
How are you?
good. You look familiar.
Plan and that we're able to move forward. Very anxious.
Yeah, a hurdle that I think about is what students are going to fall through the crack, you know, going between in class, remotely, and just because like last year, at least we knew who the students were. We knew who the quiet ones were. We knew who the ones that were going to struggle were. This one, these students moving in, like we don't know who they are. So we don't know their family situation, nothing like that. So just them, you know, falling through the cracks, and all of a sudden we come and we look and we're like, oh, you've been in our class? Oh, I didn't realize that you were even part of my 3rd grade class.
I had to leave my house and go pick up my child from swim team, so that's why I'm in the car.
Oh, wow, you're an amazing multitasker, Kelly. This is crazy.
My eyes are on the road, so I'm not looking at the screen right now.
Okay, and we have a small group here, so it's just you and Bonnie and Michelle. So did you all go through your hurdle?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Bonnie. I'm gonna leave this group, go to the last one, and the timer might run out. We'll find out. So sit tight, or if you guys feel like you just want to return back to the main room, that's okay.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
If I'm coming back to my house, so if I ask to join again, that's why. I'll get back on my laptop.
Okay, no problem. I know that difference between your cell service and then your Wi-Fi, I know sometimes breaks you up. Thanks.
Correct.
So which schools are you at?
So if we type in this text box, does it still go to everyone or just the people in our group?
Hello, everybody. I just popped into your group and heard that question. So this is only going to be chat for your group only.
Okay.
So it's a good question because if the teacher's not there, that teacher's not going to see what you guys are typing. And so
Not seeing any typing. Is there a place we should be looking?
click on your bubble across the bottom and your tool's just called chat.
Not seeing it on this screen. Do I have to go full screen? Oh,
You
there we go.
shouldn't have to, but look for a chat. And what type of device are you on?
I'm on a laptop.
Okay.
Windows.
Yeah, when you're on a laptop, you should be able to see the chat bubble at the bottom. And then that would pop up, allowing you to type to the group.
Yeah, I see it now.
Oh, good. All right, looks like our time is coming to a close. I have a little pop-up on my screen that the time is up, so I'm going to hit close now and we'll see everybody back together. So we have everybody back, and I know that likely wasn't time for that big group to get through everybody. Our small group, that was easy. There were only 3 of them there. I want to hear from you guys. What are some pros or cons? What are you seeing that you like or dislike about breakout rooms?
There seemed to be an echo for some people. So that it just echoed like they were far away.
All right, that's possibly and that's why I always wear earbuds. And I do that for the reason that your own speakers will echo back into your laptop's microphone. So that is a possibility. And so you're going to hear that from students as well. And especially if their volume's cranked up to hear whatever noise they have in their own home, it's going to make them want to turn that up louder. Okay. So Bonnie liked how the teacher can move in and out. And I did that. I came in and out of each of your groups. Some of you, I simply did a chat item. And when I popped into one of the groups, it was really cool because they were just mentioning that, asking, okay, what is the chat going to show? Is that the chat for the whole group? Does everybody see it? Or does only one breakout room see that chat? And yep, folks, only that group sees that chat. So think about that. You're only one person and you've created 4 rooms. But again, it's like walking around in your classroom. You can't hear every conversation in every group of students. But with this tool, you're able to pop in, listen to a group for a little bit, and then move on when you want to. And they would see that the participants, that somebody has joined the group, so they know when you're listening. It's not like you're spying on them, but that's something to think about. So I have all my tools still here up on the screen. And I want to hear the bad stuff, or if even you say, forget it, there's no way I could do this with my littles, or maybe you're here just to do it with other adults in a professional setting.
Your mouth is not matching with your talking.
That is because I am sharing my screen, and you know, I can stop.
That's better.
There we go. Yeah, I had the screen sharing turned on because I need you guys to see my tools. And that was a period of time I probably could have turned it off there. Okay, so Kelly is asking, and Deb, 2 questions here. So let's go with Deb's first. Can you record in each group? And she's guessing not. And so I realized only after I jumped into 3 groups and I was on my 4th that I'm going to be recording the whole time, but I wanted to also record my screen. So I forgot to turn on screen sharing in each group because if I want you guys to look at this later, you needed to see how I was jumping in and out of each group. So I did catch that during my last leap. But yes, you would be recording. And so, but be cautious, because when I've been in any meetings regarding recording students, it's just been like this hard line, no recording students, period. So the recording has captured all of my movements. And when I jumped into a group, if you guys were talking, that was recorded. And Kelly asks, how do you move from one group to another? And so I am a host, and I can make multiple people a co-host, so you guys can experience this too. So hosts and co-hosts can jump from room to room. And so I can't put a phone as a co-host. So as you guys, let me share my screen so you can see what I'm doing there. And I'll even do this. Here we go, because this is really the focus. That I'm in the participants panel, and I am coming down to each individual person and clicking on more, and I click make co-host. So next to your name, if you open the participants panel, you're going to see I'm making you all a co-host. You can have somebody designated as a co-host in advance. That's another setting you would apply in your Zoom account. And if I keep going down the list, I'll get everybody given that special permission. So what can a co-host do? Well, you can jump in and out of groups. And so I'm gonna just keep making sure we give everybody access. Okay, I already got Diana. There we are, sorry about that. I lost my spot. So a co-host is able to leave a room and go into another. And so right now, this is gonna be like musical chairs with all of us, because I'll put you in a group and we don't need to spend time talking. I just want you to find another person's name, maybe somebody you know. And here's the thing, we're gonna have to split the alphabet, I think. We're gonna say if your first name starts with the letter A down to letter J. So that get us from Alicia to Julie. And it's a little less than half. Everybody has the permission the ability to move, but I want those of you with a first name of A to J, you're gonna actually move. And that way the other people are going to see you join in, and then you can have that practice of what's it like to move from room to room without you having to stage this all on your own later on. Now, what I'm doing isn't something you don't normally set up. And I can let you even move around even if you don't have a microphone or you don't have a video camera. You can still do this co-host. So I know it's taking me a long time because we have a lot of people in our group. So we're almost there. Okay, so that has given you that permission. You'll also see down here now in your toolbar, this little security shield. That wasn't there until I triggered you are a co-host. So I click on security and you guys are gonna see now you have extra rights. So be kind to me. don't end our meeting, but it does allow you to lock it, or you're in control of sharing screens and turning that on. And these are just some of the default settings I have. So that security badge appeared because now you have co-host status. So what we're going to do is go into another breakout room here. And I want to share with the group that you guys heard, it was one of the groups, they talked about chatting. And I just wanted to make sure that I shared with all of you. So you will only see a chat for the room you are in. Just want to make sure I repeated that. Okay, so let me look at the chat here. How do you move from group to group? And that's what we're getting ready to do. And can you do just one in each group as a captain or a leader? Oh, like a host. I wouldn't designate a student to be like the captain. This I'm only doing so you guys can move from room to room like a host would do. I would not want kids jumping at all. This is just for you guys as the teacher and maybe your parapro or an aide who's working with you. So this would allow you to teach a main lesson, and then you would be able to have one student who needed help or a small group of students who said they needed to review a topic or review something. You could have your parapro or your aide or even your gifted person work with those gifted students, pull them off to the side, and then that person could rejoin the group or ask you a question. And so that would be the purpose of having a co-host. So yeah, and we aren't going to email people. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into these same groups. That way I can reuse them to show you guys, look at that. Those rooms are still established. And then I'm going to open these rooms. And remember, if your name is from, first name is from the letter A to the letter J, then you're going to be able to move. And I want you to move into a different room. And we're just going to do this. Let's do this for 2 minutes. Just want to see, and that way we're going to let the other group move too. And the rest of you are going to watch and see a person do this. So how would you move yourself? Whenever you're in a room, you're going to come back down to the button that says Breakout Rooms. You're going to see all of these rooms like I do, and you'll simply change. There'll be a badge over here to join. And so Jennifer Kuvakis, you do not have a breakout room button. And earlier, Jennifer, when you said you were on a computer, are you on a Chromebook? She is not. So Jennifer, oh, you know why, Jennifer? You were added to my class list. So you, let's see, is anybody else? Yeah, you guys don't have one yet. Oh, rats, you know why? Because you probably have to go to your settings and turn it on. Rats. So we might not be able to do this after all. And we're in the middle of a class, so maybe your new settings. Oh, and Jennifer says she did turn it on. Sometimes when you're already active in a meeting, then those settings don't apply until next time. Well, rats. Does anybody, I'll just open it up. All of you have co-host. Does anybody see breakout rooms at all? So just on my screen. Yeah, good point. No, okay. Yeah, you know what? That's a good question, Alicia. We'll give this a try if it will come up once the breakout room is started. And that could be where I have I don't have this started yet. So that's what we'll do real quick here. You guys have the option to return to our main session at any time. Still, if your name is A to J, we'll try this. You have 2 minutes and then join us back in the main group. And those who aren't from those alphabet letters, A to J, you're gonna sit tight and watch your screens because you should see when somebody joins your group. So, and we'll do the countdown even shorter to 10 seconds, but we should get everybody back pretty quick. So here, we'll try it anyhow. We have one unassigned. Kelly, how did I miss you? And Kelly, I will put you into our intermediate. I think that was group 3. So Julie, you came back to the main group. And if you unmute, Julie, was the breakout room button there for you?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to join someone else with the letters that you had specified. Do we just click on someone else's name and then click on join?
Yeah, we have breakout room 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just pick any one of those rooms and the word join appears off to the right.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. And Beth, did you have any luck? Did you see the breakout rooms button?
No, I did not. And I didn't preset for breakout rooms before I joined. So
Sure. Sure. Now, Julie did happen to see the button. But we'll see if she is moving because she was in a high school group. So she would have been in this room 1. I see her there. Okay. So I'm going to close our breakout rooms. Time is up. So everybody will join us back. Okay, did we crash and burn? Oh, good. So Alicia, you were right. Thanks for that. So the breakout room button appeared only after I initiated the breakout rooms. So Lisa was able to move to another room. Who else was able to move? Go ahead and type it in the chat if you'd like. Okay, Brooke was able to move, yay, and Jennifer moved. So that movement, folks, that's exactly how you as a host would move from one breakout room to another. And I hope you guys are still getting value out of this class. This is a really tough one for me to try to do with you guys. And so Kendra was not able, but she'll check with Elise, okay. It is kind of neat jumping in and out. So you're able, think of that. Like I said it twice already, you're moving around your classroom and you're just listening into a group for that moment of time. So let's go with the other half. Let's do the letter K down to S. So if we'll do this one last time to wrap up. And if there's something you want to just stay here in the main room, that's okay with me. We certainly need a few people who join us in the other rooms just to let folks hop in and hop out. So this is for the second half of our alphabet. We're going to do letters K down to letter S, and I'm going to start the rooms one more time. And remember, you're looking for the breakout rooms button across the bottom, and then that'll let you move and join another group. Okay, so everybody's moving back into breakout rooms. And so while folks are in rooms, the join button appears to the right of the title. So we have 4 rooms. And when they're closed up, it's a lot easier to see the buttons where you can join. We have a counter at the top. Now, Beth, you're at the high school level. Do you think you would ever have your kids work in groups like this?
I think it could be a possibility, especially, but I like the ideas that you have to assign them first and to save time.
Yeah, I definitely need to look into that for everybody. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt Zoom, they're really good with their resources. So I'm sure we'll find something pretty easily. Yeah, that took a lot of time. And this is an average size class. You know, we have 24 folks in here. So you saw what that was like sitting and waiting for me to assign people. That was slow. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen only for the purpose of being able to show you guys a few last things before we close up. So okay, so I have my screen shared. What I'm trying to do is get my video pinned back. And there we go, pin video. Ah, sorry, pinned the wrong one. Sorry about that. Beth, she's getting to be the star of the show right now. So as we were doing the breakout rooms, I established these in the beginning, and I'm going to be able to stick with them and use them the whole class, but these will be gone. So I will follow up, make sure we find out about pre-establishing when you schedule these, if we're able to do that with students, because students technically don't have accounts. So I'm going to look into that deeper, because that was a lot of time wasted for a teacher sitting there putting people into breakout rooms. And so can you move the host? Can the host move the same as the co-host? Yes, they both can. So the host still has a few more controls. Plus, you'll find that if you are on a Chromebook or if you are on an iPad, that I could not move. I did not see the breakout rooms button. So was anybody on a Chromebook who can prove me wrong? Because my Chromebook's kind of old, so that might have been a reason. So if you want to put it in the chat, if you were on a Chromebook and you were able to move from room to room, let me know. So we're getting to the end here. And I want to see what Jennifer has. If the students are on a Chromebook, will they still move if we assign them to a breakout room? Yes, students will still move. That part here, move all participants into breakout rooms, that applies to everybody. It's only if you were wanting a co-host, another adult to do the jumping around. You would never want kids to do that type of jumping. I hope I answered that properly. If not, you can unmute and ask it. We have, for those who are watching this live, we have our link to our professional development certificate form. And let's see, Elise, so neither Kendra or Elise had the breakout room blocks. They had to open it from the More button. Oh, thank you guys. And see, that's something, if I don't see it on my screen, then that makes it hard for me to catch that your display is different. And then how do you enable and disable private chatting? That is a setting you do in your main account. So if I was to share my screen back here with my Zoom settings, let's see. And I'm going to just cheat and type chat. So it's in the same area where you turn breakout rooms on, and you have, let's go to chat in the meeting basic area. So you can turn chat on, and here is private chat. I have that on. We're adults. I'm fine if you guys are talking on the side, but you would want private chat off for your students. And a teacher, since I'm showing you my screen, a teacher also has the ability while you are live to click more and change settings. Let's see, sorry about that. There we go, it's in the chat area. So participants can chat with no one. So in the chat box, you click the 3 dots and you decide what they can do. No chatting, host only. So there you have it. While you guys were in your groups, you might have noticed there was a button that also said that you can ask the host for help. And so that was another feature that I'm not sure if you guys caught that. No, we didn't use it this time, but just thought I would bring that up to you. So if you're curious, if this was just working time and you said, well, gee, I don't know if my students need me or not, well, you can have them use that tool to ask you to join their group.